Styrofoam cup, I can pour a 4 in.
I don't do this to be cool. I did this because I was sick. I don't want to be known as the innovator of syrup or whatever. People been drinking syrup for years. I know I picked up the cup when I started drinking with this promethazine mixed with codeine, which you all know is syrup. I started drinking it because I'm from the South, New Orleans. I was young and I watched Michael Jordan in Game 6 and made me want to go right into my driveway and shoot around. Well, I was also young and I listened to Pimp C and they said we drinking that lean. And made me want to drink the lean.
Everybody want me to stop and all this and all that, but it ain't that easy, blood. It ain't that easy. It feel like death in your stomach when you stop doing it. You gotta learn how to stay, you gotta go through detox.
And when confronted with the syrup-related death of Houston rapper Pimp C, Wayne doesn't flinch.
Don't tell me nothing, you know what I mean? Let me be me, let me die, I'ma die, let me live, I'ma live.
I'm me, and I do what the I wanna do, and I'm gonna keep doing what the I wanna do. And if syrup is what the I wanna do, I'm gonna do it. And by the way, this is tea in my cup.
In the back seat, a 4-year-old boy in a dinosaur shirt. It's the picture of innocence. In the front, his mother, Rhonda Pasek, and driver, James Accord. Pasek slumped over in the passenger seat and her son in the back.
911, do you need police, fire, medical?
I have 3 people that are, apparently they seem to be passed out, not waking up in my parking lot. Like 2 of them are on the ground.
Hey! We found someone at a red light. He is OD'd. You gotta wake up, man. You gotta wake up. You cannot die.
We smoking K2 again. This is the second video of him after the hospital came and got him. This dude just don't learn. Look at him. Look at him now.
.86% of youth under the age of 19 know someone who smokes, drinks, or does drugs during the school day. In the U.S., teens abuse alcohol more than any illicit drug. That abuse is responsible for nearly 200,000 ER visits and 4,300 deaths among youth under 21. Why do teens use drugs? Teens use drugs to fit in, rebel, experiment, escape. Drug abuse is widespread and has become accepted among celebrities, influencers, musicians, rock and pop stars. People abuse drugs for pleasure. Drug use produces biological changes in the brain that change the way the brain works. possibly permanently. Drugs overactivate areas of your brain, producing a euphoria. When drugs are present in the brain, the drug taps into the brain's communication system, disrupting the normal process of sending and receiving messages. Repeated drug use changes the circuits and decreases the circuit sensitivity, making it hard to feel pleasure. What is seen then is the development of tolerance. Tolerance develops after repeated drug use, when the user finds that it takes more of a drug to feel how that same effect felt when first using. Tolerance eventually leads to dependence. Dependence, the state in which the body relies on a given drug in order to function normally, is known as physical dependence. The state of emotionally or mentally needing a drug in order to function normally is called psychological dependence. Drug withdrawal, the uncomfortable and psychological symptoms produced when a physically dependent drug user stops using drugs, is called withdrawal. Withdrawal keeps addiction going because the distressing symptoms drive the addict to take more drugs to alleviate these symptoms. Addiction is not a choice. It's a disease that affects brain chemistry and wiring. It leads to repeated drug seeking, using behaviors despite harmful consequences. The disease affects a person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. The long-term changes to the brain limit persons' self-control and slow their ability to resist intense impulses to take drugs. When asked which drugs they used in the last 30 days, students indicated their top picks: alcohol, marijuana, e-vaporizers, cigarettes, heroin, or opioids. Drug abuse claims more victims than just the abuser. In December 2007, 24-year-old Michael Gannon killed 5 members of a Toledo, Ohio family while drunk driving. Sentenced to 43 years, he will be 67 when he is released. Some people think that marijuana is a harmless drug, but regular marijuana use can cause a drop in IQ of 8 points. K2 Spice is not marijuana. K2 Spice is a man-made fake drug that causes hallucinations, delusions, and death. Cigarettes, e-cigs, vapors, chew, cigars. No matter how it's delivered, nicotine is addictive and harmful for youth and young adults. Addiction, throat and mouth irritation, vomiting and nausea, coughing. Ads claim e-cigarettes emit only harmless water vapor. This is not true. E-cigs contain over 5,000 substances that include nicotine, toxic chemicals, and carcinogens. Use of e-cigs can lead to brain damage, DNA damage, stiff, and narrow arteries. Not only do they cause harmful internal damage, vapes are exploding. Opioids are drugs that come from the opium poppy plant, or synthetic equivalents, like painkillers or heroin. One of the main culprits behind the growing opioid epidemic are synthetic opioids like fentanyl. The death rate from these drugs has increased by 1,125% between 2011 and 2017. These are the faces of addiction. There is good news. You can make a difference. Be the person you want to be. Don't be tied down by addiction. It starts early by saying no. Choose to refuse if we are all facing the right direction. All we have to do is keep on walking.